In today's video, we'll discuss what is pod, what is replicaset, and what is deployment, and we'll show you everything in hands-on demo. Before we start the video, just a quick reminder: if you haven't subscribed the channel, subscribe the channel, because after complete the 60-day course, I will also create cloud and DevOps related video, which will help a professional career. So don't forget to subscribe the channel. So now let's start today's class. So first, I will give you the a brief overview. Then I will explain everything. Then I will show you hands-on demo. So first, what is pod? You can explain here. Then I give a code deploy a pod. You can just copy and paste. You can create that file. Then after create the pod, for running the pod, you have to run this command. Then we can discuss what is service, and the service definition is here, and the service file is here. So and don't worry, we'll explain everything when I explain. So then we'll discuss what is replicaset. Same way I put definition here, and how to create replicaset. That code is here, and for running the replicaset, you just run this command. Then we'll discuss what is deployment. Same way, what is deployment described here. Then I'll give a demo file how you can deploy a deployment. Then same way you have to run this command to run the deployment. And for update any deployment, you have to run this command. And for rollback, is like if you go to our previous update version, like undo. So if you do anything happen, if you see this is any mistake happen, then you go back to our previous version. That is called rollback. So let me scroll up, and now I will explain everything with a hands-on demo. So what is pod? Basically, pod is the smallest section in the Kubernetes. It can run one or more containers. So in the pod, we can run one or more containers, and it's like wrapping up the pod, like a pod, things of wrap around the container. Here is simple like a pod creation definition file. But instead of showing you the theory, if I show you the image, then basically you can understand the concept of the pod. So let me go to the image section. So here I create a image. Okay, so here you can see this is a pod. So when I'm using Docker container, we already know we can create a container by using a Docker image. Okay, so then which is called basically container, and pod is the basically wrapping of that container is called basically pod. So in Kubernetes section, instead of telling container, we are telling is pod. So inside the pod there is a container. So normally basically when you're running any pod, normally it will run only one container, but sometimes we are also running different or two containers in the pod. So that was helping container to that pod. So helping container. So normally it can be possible there are two or more container run in the pod, but normally we are running only one container in a pod. Okay, so this is basically it's a pod. So how to create a pod and how to write the definition file, everything you can get from the Kubernetes documentation website. So let me open that file. So this is a Kubernetes documentation file. I will put that URL in the documentation of the YouTube video. So in the search section, if you write anything, it will show the details of that image file. So if you want to know how to write the pod, so just type pod, and it will open the first one. So go to the bottom, so you can see how to write a pod is the same. Okay, so let me copy that one instead of using my documentation. Then basically you can understand easily. So let me copy that one and open my terminal. Cat pod.yml. You can put any name, and you can also give the extension YML or YAML, both. So like for writing any pod, we have to like write this thing API and make sure this one is lowercase and it's different what is start, that one should be like uppercase. So API version in the right side it is v1, and kind what we need to like what type of it is, like if it's pod they need to write pod, if it's replica setup what is want to create we need to like write that one, and make sure the right side one in the uppercase instead of this one, except this one everything will be like kind should be uppercase pod. So metadata same thing, like when you're creating a pod or container, give a name of the container. So like when you create a engineers container, we can give a container name like web 203 or whatever. So in the same way we can give a name of that pod. So need a metadata, we need to give this name of the pod is nginx. So this is the like a metadata. So in the specification or spec, like we need to tell how to create the container with that image. So we need to write like containers, then dash, then that name we need to give the name of the container. So this is the name of the container and this is the pod name. So make sure these are different, but here they are using the same name. So this is the container name, this is the pod name. In the container name, we need to when want to create a container, we need to use the image. So here that image need to mention. So image they are using image and this version. Then every container need to expose a port. So here that's what mentioned ports. So it's like exposing container ports 80. So if you run that one, then it will create a port and you can see. So let me create that one, and the command is kubectl, then apply or create, anything you can use, then you can give the name of the file. So like after you create, you can see the pod is created. So if you want to see kubectl get all or get pod or get po, both we can use. So let me use a similar one, a smaller one, basically po. So you can see this pod is running. Okay, but in the image we already see like in Kubernetes we are not able to like access this pod from the outside. You can get login to the pod, but and inside the pod you can see the nginx website is running. But if you want to see this browse nginx website from the like a browser, like if you want to run in my computer, so how like this can be happen. So there is coming a service. So like if you want to go the image, so like when you are see every pod have a container and container is running in nginx, but no one can like see this. Okay, so like we are not able to see this container without anything. So that is come like service. So in the Kubernetes there is a option is service. So by this service we can browse this thing. So like if you are using service, so like in the service section we need to use a like different port, and in the Kubernetes starting from 30,000 something to like 32,000 something. You can get it from the documentation. So you need to make that port like port. So like when you're browsing this port by this service, user can access this port. So let me like here is the example. So like we are using, like if you want to browse this like nginx and from this port, so you need to use a service. Okay, so when you like users want to browse that, we need to use a like different port number. So it is starting is 3000. So you put it 3080, sorry, and you need to mention here is a 80. So when service is like talk with this port, and a service will expose that nginx content by this port. So user can basically access this port. So let me show you how we can create this service, then it will be clear for you. So same way, if you want to like in the documentation, if you write service, then it will show the like how to run the service. Okay, so scroll down. So you can see here is a service they are using same way basically instead of using port they are using service, and same way the service name is like my service, and like the specification, like they use like selector and they give a name of the selector, and same way like we need to tell service which port need to expose, which is the like a user can see the port, and what is the like container port. This thing we need to basically mention here. There is another example where like they use pod and nginx all together. Let me like copy that file, and one thing, like when you're using a file, we can like you can write multiple pod and service in the same file. Just you need to use this 3-. So if I want to create another pod and another service, I just put the 3- here and I can run it here. So let me like copy this one and go to the control panel. So let me open the VI. So delete that one better. So type that one. So in the selector section, so let me show the example with first image. Then you can understand basically. So there is a like a label something. So how this work? I want to show you. So now like in the service, like every pod have a like if you think this is service, so how this service know which port it need to connect. So it need to connect this port or like this port. So there is something that is service will know that it need to connect that port only. This is basically label. So this thing is label. So like here is label is equal to like app is equal to A1. Also when you create a port, we will put something in the app is equal to A1. Then this service will know this service need to connect this port. This is basically label. So service in the service file there is option is label. In the label section we write something label name. So when we run that port and service will know which service which port need to connect with this service to serve the web page or serve the port something. Okay, so for something is label, so label is defined in the service section. From this service section like port will be connected. Okay, this is the basically label. So let me go back to the file again. So here same way we is port is nginx. So in the label, this is the label. So instead of using the big one, just make it that small option. Just put label. So now we put a label in the service. So any port have that app equal to service, that service will connect it to that container or that port. Okay, so same way this is a container in the port ports. It will show the like container ports is 80 and it give a name. You can put a name on if you don't want, that's fine, it's optional. Then in the service, so we write the service. Then this is the basically service name, as well as like there is a container name and like a pod name. This is the service name. Okay, so in the service names we put specs and we need to configuration of the service. So in the selector section we need to say which pod will be connected in this service. So here we're using pod app equal to service, so we need to use same that one. Okay, and make sure like indentation is proper way. So if you make any wrong indentation, it will throw a error. So in the app you can do after semicolon you need to put a space here. Same way like selector is this level and spec is all at this level. So make sure you do the right indentation. Okay, so in the ports section, so it will give you the like name and protocol, TCP IP, then port and target port. So there is the like another thing, how this container or how this service will show the port. So if you are in the service section, if you scroll down, let me show the thing. So in the service type, there is like a few more service types. Normally it's cluster IP, node port, and load balancer, and external name. But these are the three commonly used. So in the load balancer, basically load balancer, when you're using like any cloud like AWS, GCP, or Azure, then basically we are using load balancer, because that option is there. In our local minikube system, the load balancer option will not working. So when you're running our Kubernetes in our local environment like minikube, then we need to use node port. Okay, so basically same way it is working, like expose your port data by service. So which way basically you need to serve the data. So like in the cluster IP, let me show the image again. So like when you are using cluster IP, when you are using node port, when you are using load balancer, this thing is come. So like if you think this is like MySQL container or MySQL port, and this is like Nginx or web server. So this is our web server. So it will, when user are browsing, it will browse from that container. Okay, so like if this container is communicate with this container, so normally web server is communicate MySQL port. So then MySQL is not mandatory to communicate with other. So user will don't connect to the MySQL, and they don't need basically. So web server container only connect the MySQL pod or container. So then basically we are using cluster IP. Okay, so in the cluster IP there is some port, like here is a one port and here is another port. So these will talk to one by one another. So there is no thing that need to expose to user. Then basically we are using cluster. So a cluster IP we are using when we are port talk to each other. It's not want to expose by user. Okay, so now we are using another was node port and load balancer. When this service want to show to the user, then the service is node port. So in the node port we need to tell a port same thing 3000 something we need to mention when you're using node port. So when you're using node port, we need to tell them in the manifest file is node port, or if you're using load balancer, then we need to mention in the manifest file it's load balancer, type is equal to load balancer. So when we are using load balancer, like when you're using AWS or any cloud, then basically you are using the load balancer. Load balancer option is available in the cloud. So basically same technique they are using, but different way. So when you are using AWS, I will show that thing. So it will create a load balancer that will connect to the service and serve the data to the user. Okay, so in the manifest file we need to add the node port section. So we need to add the node port in the same way, like in the documentation you can see that way. So let me write that one. So another thing I want to tell you, instead of working on the terminal, is best to practice to open any editor like VS editor. Then it will more user friendly. So if you make any spelling mistake or indentation mistake, then it will basically show you. So let me do that way also, because I want to show you everything. So if you code then dot, it will open Visual Code with what file is there. Let me open that and show you. So same way you can see left side is blue color and right side is a little bit orange color. So in the service section, if you write anything, so target port, you don't need target port. Basically we are not using target port. So when you put a hash, it will make it comment, and you can see the color is changed. So we need to basically use node port and node type. So a node port, we are and you can see the what we want to write is showing here. So that's way easier, and if you make any a spelling mistake, it will throw a error. Okay, so I want to see this 3009. Okay, so also want to make sure we need to tell the Kubernetes what type of node port to use. So make sure this indentation is level of the port, this indentation. So type should be node port. Okay, so you can see node port. Node. Okay, so that's right. So let me check everything. Okay, so now if I run the file, yeah, like it will create the container and expose that 30,091 port. So we can like see this website by using 30,091 port. Okay, so save this file and same way kubectl apply -f. So we did mistake anything, we check. Basically we didn't delete the file, so kubectl get all, so we need to delete that port. Kubectl port. So we are like not able to find like a same name that that was created in same name, so we are not like allowed to use same name of the port, so that's why it's throw a error. Okay, now we can see like a pod and service both are created. So kubectl get all, we can see pod is running till seconds, and also the service, this one is like a minikube service, our was this one. So we give a name service Nginx service, and pod we give the name Nginx. So you can see all name is showing, and these are very like important for us whenever you want to like delete, restart anything. That name we need to do any like work on that port or services. Okay, now we can see this like host port is 30,091. So let me like use that one, and how we can like get the URL of the minikube. So when you want to want to show any service, so minikube service, then the name of the service, there is like a few more way you can see. So if you write this one and dash URL, you can it will give a URL to access the browser. You can see this. So let me print that here. So if you click that one, to open the browser, so you can also like copy that one also. So like this browser backside, so you can see this is the website, same URL is there. So like let me show one thing. So like this page, like terminal is stuck. You can see this terminal is stuck, so you need to write in a different terminal. There is another way I can show you later. So another way you can also like use like kubectl instead of using dash URL, just put that one. So it will like open a like browser for you. Okay, you can see it will automatically open it browser. Okay, so these are basically we can show the website. So now let me like close that one. If you run that from like Control C, it will automatically close. Let me Control C. You can see that one gone. Okay, so both way basically we can see the like our website. So now we can like access our pod from outside of the container. Okay, so like let me like so like when you're running the Nginx container, if you like log into that container, you can see that like website, but no one can see that website outside of the container. That's why we are using service. So if you want to see that website, you can like kubectl like exe to log in that container. You can like do the curl command, and you can see that Nginx was running there and serve the website, but no one can access that website from outside. That's why we are using basically service. So now like our next topics is like replicaset. So what is replicaset? Let me go to the like image. So like when we are running a pod, so this is basically replicaset. So like this is the advantage of the replica set, or this is the advantage of Kubernetes. Like when any container is like crashes, any error, like anything happening in that like website or container, if that container will be crash, like if the replica set have configured, then like this replica set has 2 ports, so there is 2 ports. So if that port is down, then like a system will serve the data from that port. So in the meantime, replica set will identify that port is somehow crashed, so it will create a new port. Okay, and after some times this port will also working, then system will serve from both way. So like if you want to give them 3 container, so it will create another port here with same configuration. So basically this is the like advantage of the port. So anyhow like port is crashes or system will crashes, that like replica switch serve the data from the different port, and it will by the time will create a new port. So how we can create the replica set? Same way, if you go to the documentation and we can create that replica set. So let me go to the documentation again. So here is our documentation. Just type replica set. So let me open that one. So like same way, like they add something like in the API version, instead of using v1, now it need to use apps-/v1. Then kind it's replica set, that's we need to write replica set. So same way we give this name of the replica set. So everything have a name, because we need to like future if you want to do some change, we need to that name. So in the replica set name, they give the like name is a front end. In the label, same way we give the label equal to proxy. Here they give them name tire front end. So in the spec section, like this is the specification of the replica set. So in the replica set, we need to tell replica how many pod we need to run. So here they type 3, so 3 pod will be running. Then in the selector section, same way like when we are using service, we use a label. So which label use that connect to that pod. Same way also replica set want to know which like pod it need to monitor. So that's the like we come like match label. So which match label it match, then that pod will be monitored by replica set and controlled by replica set. So any pod will be down, then that will monitor by replica set. So match label will be fine match, and that replica set will find, oh, that is crashes, so it will create a new one. So there is the like match label. So need to make sure this label name need to put also like our pod. Okay, so in the template section we need to like create the like container related. So in the same way we need to metadata label is content, give a name of that container. Then specification, so we need to like give the container details of that like pod we created. So like instead of copy and paste, I just want to like just edit that file. Then basically you can understand what is the like difference between replica set and pod. So let me go to the visual code and show you from there. Okay, so here you use the like, if you want to like compare that one, you can also. So like apps-v1, so here we need to use app-v1. Then here is the type replica set. So instead of using pod, we need to type replica set. We can see all syntax is coming, and replica set configuration and specification is not as like pod, that's why it throws some error. So let me when we change this thing, it will like fix the error. So keep the like name same. So our replica set name, metadata, keep it nginx level same. So just specification, let me change. So in the right side, you can left side, you can see we need to like indentation and replicas. We need to tell how many replicas we want. Like we need to make it 2. Then we need to put selector. So whatever you write, it will complete your code, and if you get an error, it will throw the error. So in the selector section, we need to tell them what label you need to match. You can see in the selector there is a match label. So match label. Then you need to give the name. We use like app equal to proxy. So app equal to proxy. So now we need to write the template. So how the container will be works with the same annotation template. So in the template we need to type the metadata. So metadata. So we same way in the we need to make the label. So everything you find in the left side, you can see the documentation. So we don't need to be worried. So same way we label, we use app equal to proxy. Okay, so now we need to write down the how the container will be basically work. So in the container section, we need to tell the specification spec of the container. So we have already that one, so just can see the error is gone. So let me take the arbitrary. Okay, so container, the name, image, port 80. Okay, everything same. So you can see by using VS Code, it is more easier than the notepad. So it will make lots of error and it will take more time. So instead of using notepad or terminal, VI terminal, it's better to use VS Code. Okay, so sometimes it will get some errors, so make sure the spelling and everything is fine. Okay, so in the service section we don't need to change anything, we just change the replica set. So now if I run that one, let me see what happened. So replica set 2, so go to the kubectl get all. We can see pod is nginx 1 running, and service also 1. There is no replica set. Now if you kubectl apply, sorry, -f kubectl apply kubectl apply -f, our name is port.yml. So we get put mistakes here. We need to put apps. You can see here into apps we didn't put the s mistakenly. So let me go to the VS Code. So here will be s, but it didn't throw error. Sometimes it happen, a little bit minor error is overlooked. So not to run again. Now you can see replica set is created in service is already created. So kubectl get all. So now you can see one new thing is coming. Once is replica set. So we put 2 desires, so 2 containers created. So you can see new one is 8 seconds before one that was 15 minutes ago. So this one is new. So also when a replica set will create a pod, it will give a ID number. Okay, so you can see this is a ID different, but that one was previously created, but it found it has 2 pod. That's why it's not deleted that, because label is matching same and service is basically already created. So now if you want to browse that site, you can see it will be working, but you already delete that one. So you need to give the URL open again, so then it will be open again. So we need to make sure the service is running again. So let me run that command in different terminals. So minikube test URL. Let me run that one in different terminal, then we can work in that terminals. Copy that one, to another terminal, run that one. So we need to browse that one, or better copy that one. I want to show in here. So you can see our website is showing. So if you refresh, you can see website is continuously showing. So now like if you want to, so keep that open in this terminal, so you work in this terminal. So if you want to delete this port, what happened you can see. Okay, so this is the advantage of ReplicaSets. So kubectl delete port or PO, then kubectl get all. You can see now another port is created, a different name. You can see this one, sorry, is 5 seconds. Okay, just now created. So if you want to go to the browser, you didn't find anything, so it will serve the website. Okay, so this is like a very simple page, so it will not take that much time, so you don't see any differences or any delay to create it. So like you can see it is created, everything is working fine. Okay, so now like one thing is coming, like now we're using basically a ReplicaSet. Now little bit more feature added, it will come deployment. So when is deployment like a scenario come, let me go to the image again. So like when you're using ReplicaSet will doing fine. Like when any container will crash, then new container will be created and multiple container also created, and it will monitor, it's working fine. But when are like do some changes, like we are using like new version, so we are using version 2. Okay, so we use that version 2 image in both. So like if we change version 3, okay, so we've like found some error, so then we need to go back quickly or do some extra other feature. That is basically possible when you're using deployment. So deployment, nothing, basically everything is same, just it will create another like wrapping of that ReplicaSet, and here deployment is really work. Okay, so when you're using deployment, then there is more extra feature is adding to like work those container properly. Okay, so just like another wrapping will be open. So and like syntax is the same, just need to using ReplicaSet, we need to use deployment. Okay, so go to the console. So here just we need to change this thing, deployment, and everything is same. So let me save. You can see kubectl get all ReplicaSet. So when I will run that file, kubectl apply, another option will become that one, deployment. You can see deployment is created. Now if you kubectl get all, you can see the deployment feature is coming. Okay, so under deployment is ReplicaSet. So inside ReplicaSet, the port is working. Okay, so now our main thing is deployment. So if you want to change anything or do anything, we need to do in the deployment section instead of doing the pod or ReplicaSet. Okay, so now like if I want to like use any different image, so if you see that image is not working properly, then we need to go back to the previous one. This feature is available in the deployment section. So let me like use a different image of that file. So here is, we are using basically in the port section, we are using image engine like stable. So let me use any image of mine. So like this is my Docker Hub account. So let me use a simple image. This one is a very simple one. So just take that image and paste it here. So Ctrl X. So everything will be same now. Like Ctrl S, save. Let me apply. kubectl get all. You can see there another option is coming. Okay, So what we'll do this basically, this is basically very simple website that will right away it will create it. Normally, like when we have multiple 10 or 20 or 50 containers, then you can basically see the changes, and when the page website is little bit complicated, then also it will take some time. But in my case, it's a very simple page. That's why it's showing right away. Basically, when replicaset will deployment will create or updated new version, what it will do, it will create another replicaset group. So if there is 2, then it will create 2 but different group. Okay, so then it will basically run a container with the new version of the image and up that one. So when it will found this is working properly, then it will delete from one for here, then it will create another one. Then if it found that 2 port is working properly, then that will create delete that one. Then you can see this is delete, and you can see the new one will be created just now. This port is 4 seconds and 5 seconds, but before you can see this was running is 4 minutes and 2 minutes. So you can see this 2 container is created right now. So if you want to see the website, you can see the different one. So if you refresh that one, you can see it is the show new one. So now if we found any mistake and any error in this new version, you can go right away to use some command. So let me show that one. So here, so undo the changes, we need to use the command kubectl rollout. Then we need to undo as like we do in MS Word. So if we make any mistake, we go back to previous one. We need to use this way. So kubectl rollout. Then we need to put the deployment and our deployment name. So deployment and our deployment name is Nginx. Okay. So kubectl rollout undo deployment Nginx. So you can roll back. So you can see, you can go to previous version. So now if you go to the browser and if you refresh that one, you can see the previous one come. You can see that before using Nginx that was coming. Okay, so that way basically we can do any changes right away. So if we do any mistake in developer do any mistake in their code, so our website is matched, so DevOps engineer right away want to go back to the previous one, then basically we are using kubectl rollout undo command. But this is not the proper way. When it is just a temporary solution, because if we want to go to that file, our port file, you can see our old image is still there. You can see the old image is still there. So when we need to do any changes permanently, we want to work on our mainframe file. So that command we are using only for temporary solution. Okay, so there is some command rollout command also available. So kubectl get all. First let me check the deployment name. So deployment name is Nginx. So kubectl, if we want to see rollout, our rollout is working properly or not, or what happened in the rollout, you can see the rollout, then deploy, and then deployment name is Nginx. Status spelling wrong, status. So you can see basically our rollout was successfully, because that website is showing the previous one. If something happened, then here it is showing it is something problem, or lots of container I have, then it will showing few containers is completed. So also you can see same way rollout history. It will basically show how many changes we did. We do one first, then we did some changes, new image, that's why it's showing 3. So if you want to there is lots of version will be here, or lots of changing here. So if you want to go any specific version, you can also use same way rollout, then you need to use that revision. You can, if you put the revision name, then basically it will go to that specific version. Okay, so basically this is the main concept and main thing in the Kubernetes for replicaset and deployment. And normally we are doing any production work, we are basically doing the deployment, but we have to know the concept, how pod working, how service working, how replicaset working. That's why I will try to show you the most easiest way to understand the concept. So let me go back to our documentation. So this was our documentation. So here I just put a simple file, container, and what command you can use to apply file. You can get pods or get pod, and you can see describe any pod. It will describe the pod. So let me open it. Like you want to see kubectl get pod. So see the pod, kubectl describe, then pod name is you need to put, it will show the pod details as when we see container details. Here it will show the pod related details. So it will take the container, create the nginx image, download, create the container, start the container. This thing will be shown here. Basically all container or pod related issue will be shown here. So container pod, what image they use, replica set name, IP that use is running, label, everything you can find it from here. Okay, so this is basically pod. So another is replica set. So I didn't put the service, I will add that one also. It's better basically what example I use here, I will update that one here, then you can basically understand properly. So run that command, then replicaset, same thing, we will run the replicaset and apply replicaset. Same way when you see get pod, get deployment, you can also see get replicaset, and for shorter version is rs. So kubectl get rs, you can see the replicaset details, how many replicaset is there. Same way if you want to basically everything saying, if kubectl describe replicaset, then replicaset name is nginx. So basically it will show the details of that replicaset. Same way we see the pod. Okay, so you can do some hands-on when you are practice. So in the deployment section, same way deployment manage replicaset, what I told you before. Provide rolling updates, rollback, and scaling. So this feature is available in the deployment, which one was not available in the replicaset. That's why replicaset come in the scenario. So this is what we usually use it in production. I already told that. So basically when you are using production, we are using basically deployment, and a sample deployment file is here. Same way you can apply the file. You can see the deployment and see the pods. Same way kubectl get, it will show the deployment, spelling ent. You can see the deployment, as well as you can see the deployment details. kubectl. Basically all commands are same, just instead of using pod, replicaset, use your target one. So now describe deployment, and deployment name is nginx. It will show you the details of the nginx deployment related issue. So it will same way selector, proxy. So sometimes we need to do the thing to do some R&D. So port level, which image it use, that container. So those everything related to the deployment, you can find it from here. Okay, so update the deployment. So we use that command kubectl rollout to go back to a previous version. So make sure you need to use the deployment name and use the kubectl rollout. Okay, so which command I use, I already mentioned in the documentation. So that's all for today's class. So if you found this video is helpful, please don't forget to subscribe the channel and like and share the video. In the next video, I will discuss on different topics of Kubernetes. So up to that time, best of luck. Bye.